A year ago, President Trump didn't mince his words when he talked about the Taliban.
There's no talking to the Taliban. We don't want to talk to the Taliban. We're going to finish what we have to finish. What nobody else has been able to finish, we're going to be able to do it.
This is what he said a few days ago after the US did just that and talked with the Taliban.
And for the first time, they're talking about settling. They're talking about making an agreement. And we bring our people back home if that happens.
Despite spending $50 billion a year and dropping thousands of tons of bombs, the US is not winning this war and cannot finish militarily what others failed to do. The Taliban is gaining ground, inflicting yet more casualties and showing no signs of capitulating. Some observers say even for the US to sit down and talk with the Taliban smacks of surrender, and the idea of a sustainable, achievable peace is mere wishful thinking. And the departure of US forces will neither guarantee a stable power-sharing government nor the prevention of so-called terrorist groups from operating on Afghan soil. The speed of the talks in Qatar has led some Afghans to believe that President Trump's America First policy is ignoring the interests of Afghanistan.
For some people, it's like a surrender, because now Americans have two options: whether they have to flee and leave Afghanistan, or whether they have to make a type of deal Taliban would like to have. It's not a very successful case, and that really worries some people in Afghanistan.
The Afghan president, Ashraf Ghani, is understandably worried. The Taliban refused to negotiate with his government, and he is all too well aware of what the Taliban did to the former president, Najibullah Ahmadzai, when they seized power in 1996. They hanged him from a lamppost.
It's going to be the Afghan people who are going to be implementing the peace agreement. So, in my opinion, sidelining the Afghan people in government is no solution for this conflict.
On the streets of Kabul, there is a mixture of hope and fear.
I am very optimistic because all these parties, the US, Taliban and Afghan government, have enough experience here. Even with their personal interests, in the end, they will agree on a peace deal.
They've killed a lot of innocent people and have taken part in talks before, but with no result. They will not accept a peace deal. We don't trust them at all.
Many women fear that if the Taliban hasn't changed, it will seek to impose the old doctrines that subjugated women and closed girls' schools. Both the US and the Afghans stress that no peace deal has yet been signed. The war is not over, but for the US at least, the end may be in sight. Tony Birtley, Al Jazeera, Kabul.